Hey everyone, Solo here. I'm on the ASOV server. We're on map 7. We're about to do a map reset here in the next couple of days, and I just wanted to give you a quick base tour before the map goes kablooey. So we're going to step into Nether, and I am down... I'm down the blue line over here. So I'm down a ways, a couple hundred blocks. So I'm going to just hop on the ice, and I'm going to get back to you when I get closer to my base. Alright, here we come up on my nether tunnel. So this is Solo's Jungle Paradise and Cat House. Take that as you will. So I did a jungle theme because I live in a jungle, and I recreated a jungle temple at the entrance to my nether tunnel. So the nether tunnel is also decorated like the jungle. So I laid down a bunch of sod, put down a whole bunch of leaves, grabbed some jungle wood, which was really actually plentiful considering I live in the jungle. So we'll just come on down here. I recreated what would be a little bit of water for a water feature, and we're going to go into where my guest house is. Now my guest house is my starter base. This is where I started out. Got a nice dock over here. Not to be confused with Dr. Wen. I've got the sugar cane planted over here just a little bit to help you along. Over here I've got the wheat. I've got cows. Got the pumpkins over here, and of course the chickens in the custom-built tree house to collect the eggs. I like to have pumpkin pie as my food of choice. I find it's got a decent saturation level, hunger saturation that is. So this is the starter base. Got the basics in here. In the basement, I have a fully stocked enchanting room, and then I have the tunnels for mining down below. Just the basics over here that you need for survival. Got the storage stockpile here, and of course, up top, I have the bed. So what I'm going to do is we're going to head around. I'm not going to sleep. We're going to head around, and I'm going to take you to what I consider to be the front door of my main base. So we're going to come back around by the nether portal. Going to come around here. Going to take a quick stop here to the right. This tree actually houses my AFK fish farm. So the story behind that is when I first started the map, I was going to do a full jungle treehouse theme, and started to go down that road and decided it's not what I wanted. I was dealing with lightning strikes, dealing with a few other things, and I decided I didn't like it. So I decided to go something a little more permanent. And that permanent structure was more, Mesoamerican, as you can see here, sort of a maybe Inca, Aztecish, Mayan, with a little bit of Roman thrown in. So it's a bit of a smattering of a temple. So we'll come up to the top here. This is the main door. I've got a 3x3 button, or a button that activates a 3x3 piston door, and we're just going to do a quick little drive-by. Just so we can get up here and you can get a bit of a view as to what it looks like. There we are. Get to see where we sacrifice the villagers up top. Well, not really. So over this way, we'll head up a little bit more. You can see I've got a real jungle temple there, and over here I've got a couple others that I've made. Now they're of a slightly larger variety because they hold my iron farms. So we will buzz back around to the front door here, and I'm going to land. And I'm going to go back into the nether, and you'll see why in just a moment. And then we'll reconvene back then. So I'll catch you in just a moment. Alright, and we are back. Those of you who were a little keen of eye when we came through the first time may have noticed that there's actually a tunnel on the other side of this nether portal. So we're going to go through there. This is a shortcut that I built. I never did incorporate this into the rest of the tunnel, But this is the nether portal that goes directly into the bottom of my base. So we'll step through here. This is my main portal room. So you come through and you get this view right here. Absolute, yeah, lots and lots of black concrete. And if you wondered why I was starting to sell ink sacs at spawn, this would be it. Alright, so we are down at diamond level. I have 4 pillars of lava here. Each pillar is intended to have a beacon shining through it. I have beacons in 2 of them. My intent with the other 2 originally was to have 2 more beacons, but with the 1.13 bubble elevators, I've revised that recently. I was intending to put bubble elevators in there when we upgraded to 1.13. Obviously, that's not going to happen, so they're currently empty. The other thing is, this is a roughly an 80 by 80 by 55 large volume, and I dug it out. I did have a little bit of help from a couple other scoopers here and there who I either wanted to just help out or were bored or needed some smooth stone, so they helped me out. But one thing I found when I got down and got done with everything is I had some slime chunks in here, and so I had a hard time dealing with those slimes. And really, it's kind of interesting because none of them are spawning right now. But when they do spawn, I needed something to do with them. I wanted to... initially, I wanted to completely prevent them from spawning, but eventually what I ended up doing is I ended up putting in a little mini slime farm. So at each chunk at the edge here, I built this structure with the iron golem inside, the magma blocks here, and I do have hoppers and hopper minecarts underneath that suck up all the slime balls. So I actually have my own supply of slime balls. No worries there. So we'll go in the back. This is only partially decorated. So you can see I started doing some concrete over on this side. Looks like I've got some lighting glitches going on with my settings. I've been messing with my settings really hard for this video. Something just is not right. So if the quality isn't quite there, I do apologize. But this is my bulk storage system. This is the only place I have a sorter. The rest of my storage is completely manual. So one thing I do want to show you is if we grab a couple different blocks here, I'm going to stuff them in this double chest. And so one of the things, you can hear that, that's my item elevator. And I tried to speed it up as much as possible. So you can see it's actually sucking those things through at a decent rate. And if we go along the backside here, I'll show you what I did. It's actually pretty simple. I can't believe I'm the only one that's ever developed this. It's, like I said, it's simple. Other redstoners, I'm positive, have come up with this sort of thing before. I used this in the disposer for the Ender as well. So when items come in here, it turns off this torch, which turns off that piece of redstone, which makes these two observers do a 1-tick pulse apiece, and then it drives it up that line there and does your item elevator real quickly. So that's that. We have the typical item sorter out back here. Nothing spectacular about that. We just got we've got a huge lava field out here. I have plans for all of this, but like I said, it's never coming back through because of the map reset. One of the things I was thinking about doing actually is using this water to my advantage and doing a more of an industrial-sized squid farm. Now with that, we're going to go back around, and I'll show you around upstairs. Oh, hey, there's one thing down here. So this is where the slime balls go, if I can head down the ladder here. And to the left and to the right are the pickups. It's not super productive, but like I said, it's enough for what I need. If you follow this particular hallway down to the left and to the right, to the left is an empty room. To the right, this is my beacon room. So this is directly under that column of lava that you saw upstairs. You can hear it popping and bubbling in the background. Happy fun sauce. So back this way, I'm going to head back to where the portal is in the portal room. You may or may not have been paying attention when I came through. I do have a ladder. So that ladder heads up to where the rest of my base is. So we're under that jungle temple right now. I am not going to subject you to the long climb up, so I will see you when I get closer to the top. Now, something I particularly like is right in this area here, because you end up with this weird sensory deprivation feeling as you come through all this black concrete. So I've got just enough room here to walk around underneath. I needed that for when I put in the concrete ceiling. I wasn't really thinking ahead when I did that, so I had to improvise things a little bit. The big underside here, I had no real plans for it other than putting in some passive mobs. And I don't see much for spawns happening of passive mobs at this point in time. I'm wondering if we've got some other chunks loaded that are causing passive mobs not to spawn very much over in my area here. However, moving right along, I've got this cactus farm. I needed green dye for something. I can't remember what it is. I couldn't tell you what I was doing, what my thoughts were. But I do have the small cactus farm. It does produces enough for one person. That's good. I got the carrot, wheat, and potato farms over here. On the backside there, I decided to throw up some vines just to have a little bit of a vine farm, because I do like the mossy covered stone and the mossy covered rock. With the jungle theme, it comes in handy. Have the sheep over here, protected by cats. I intended to use some of these guys for a creeper only farm. Never got around to that particular task as well. I did take about 4 months off earlier this year, so I'm a little behind my normal schedule. I got a couple of just miscellaneous chests. You can tell how far behind I am because I don't have don't have things organized. So this is a cow cooker. This is your standard cow cooker that uses entity cramming. The thought is that you press the button, the cows go up, they bob up and down, they do the moo thing. You feed them with the wheat, they breed, and the new cows basically kill off the old cows. So then everything ends up down in here. Gives a good food source. You can breed them, I think it's every 5 minutes. So I've got the pumpkin farm. This is a sugarcane farm here. Which is all observer based. Now the observers are tied into the pumpkin farm, so every time this thing fires, the pumpkin farm fires as well. I've found that it's not really a 1-to-1 ratio. I need the pumpkin farm to fire more. So I did just drop a button on here so I could pop that thing manually every time I came by, just to get a few more pumpkins in there. The thought was with villager trading, I was going to need that. So I was just starting to get a villager breeder up and running. These guys are producing eggs like mad. Wrong button. Going over here, this is just a little mini mob farm. Now, I know that I could make this definitely more productive. I can make it do a whole lot better production, but it's creeper only and spider only. I need a little bit of gunpowder just to keep me in rockets. And I needed the string for another project that I was working on. And right now, I don't know if it's nighttime outside or if there's enough people on that the spawn rates just aren't working well. But I'm not getting anything out of it right at the moment. The other thing is, it is awfully close to where I spend a lot of my time. So there's also the spawn protection radius that you have to deal with. And like I said, it's not intended to be super productive. It's just there to get me some resources for the next major project, which is to get more resources. Now this is the second level of my base. Once again, haven't done much with it. You can see how it conforms to the outside of the temple. You can see this is where I've got the grass and dirt outside. This is approximately where the stairs go up. So there's an indent there. Over here is the concrete room. This room is where I do all my concrete hardening. So I create the concrete here, drop it in here. It spits out new concrete powder for me. Every time I put a concrete powder here to harden, I break it, it drops down in there. This thing isn't too technologically advanced. Now over on this side, this is a color duplicator. So the theory with this one is here, you put the color that's desired underneath this observer in the back there. and then you put the color that you have, whichever color that is. So for example, this has a black color there. Imagine that with all that black concrete that I had. And then you take any other dyed concrete that you have, such as white or red, which are really common, and you can drop it here and this will convert it from whatever color it is to black. So that came in handy a little bit. I didn't use it that much. I found it was just as easy to go out and harvest the dyes that I needed and make the black concrete. So I have another sugarcane farm up top on the main level, and it feeds down in here. I just built it, so it hasn't had much time to fill up yet. Also, I don't think it's as productive as I thought it was going to be, but you know, hey, that's fine. In here, this is my industrial smelter. It's also the main armory. It is also unfinished. So on the previous map, I had a 32 furnace auto smelter, so 16 furnaces on each side. I decided to duplicate that on this map. What I have found out is I haven't used it, and I haven't missed it. So I don't have the carts set up over here. So normally you have a cart for smelted items in top, your fuel in the bottom, you let it go, it distributes evenly along both sides. All your smelted items come out here, you pick it up, you go on your merry way. So I'll just give you a quick view on this side. You've got the hoppers, both sides there. I don't even have the rails on there yet. So there's a lot of work that was done, a lot of work that needs to be done. Now, before I head upstairs through the hatch with the ladder, I'm going to come this way. And like I said, you can totally see some lighting glitches here. I need to adjust my my settings a little bit. I've been screwing with them all day long, and I think I really hosed them up. So press this button. Got the 3x3 piston door. It's now nighttime. You can do a little bit of walking through the jungle, as I've done a little bit of mob proofing, but you're still taking your life in your hands. Also, something else that I do kind of want to throw in this video just as a throwaway item. I do have a lightning shield up top. Since it's nighttime, you can't see it. It's made of glass. One thing I have found is the skeleton trap horses will spawn on top of glass way up there. Every once in a while, I will fly by, and they will activate, scares the crap out of you, and then they start taking pot shots. This is my bedroom. Once again, I've done nothing with it. It's the minimalist style, and I'll leave it at that. So we come through here. This is my main crafting room, main storage room. So I went completely manual this map. I haven't even closed off the back in between all those chests. So once again, there's a lot left undone with this map. Nothing really too informative to say here. I did start doing some piston stuff. So when I started off, I needed concrete. So I started with this little concrete thing right here. It's a little less sexy than the one downstairs, but it works. So you press the button, the water goes away. It's also a nice place to fill up potion bottles for brewing. So you come over here, you flip this one, that comes out of the way, you got your brewing stand here. It also opens up this area here with the nether wart. So once again, it's just me. So I went with a little bit smaller setup this map rather than the last map. Last map I did have some people staying with me, so I did things a whole lot more industrially. But this is just one person here, so I didn't go whole hog with it. We have the enchanting table here. Now if we head over here by these auto smelters, flick the switch, you got full level 30 enchantment going right there. Flick the switch again, it disappears into the floor. Now I use the crap out of these things. I still have glass in there. I went through several double chests of glass because I went and covered up at build limit as high as I could get. I did put up, like I said, the lightning shield, keep things from spawning up there. To the right here, I'm going to break this open. You can see these guys. Yeah, okay, they could be going anytime here, but I do have some manual harvesting. So nothing too major there. It goes down, gets hopperized, goes into storage, and goes down to the level below. This particular cell, I did do sticky pistons, and I used concrete just for aesthetics. It eats up one more block worth of space, but I thought it was worth it for aesthetics. So with that, my friends and fellow scoopers, I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to also call this the map tour. I don't have much else I can show you without going into some really, really ugly stuff. But on that note, you can see where the edge of my my lightning shield is. So right here, I can get struck. Here, nope. Here, struck. Here, nope. Okay. So with that, I'm going to call it good. This will probably be the last time I'm on this map. If anybody wants, you can come over, help yourself to whatever I have in my inventory, and maybe I'll even leave a little bit of a present for you guys. So with that, until we see map 8, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.